All right, I'm here with David Ho
David Ho.
from the Wall Street Journal, who has probably one of the most popular news apps going right now, and probably one of the most heralded kind of mobile strategies. Can you talk a little bit for me about advice you have to journalism students about the kind of technology background that they should have coming out of school?
Well, I think having tech skills and certainly tech familiarity is just vital. You have to have it. It's part of being a journalist now. You can't be a journalist without it. I train a lot of journalists, and I teach a class of my own. But I train a lot of journalists on how to use mobile technology in their work. Tech skills are really important, and a certain comfort level with technology. That's even more important. But I mean, let me put it to you this way. When I'm looking to hire somebody, the number one thing I look for isn't a tech skill, it's news judgment. That's the number one thing, because that's the one thing I can't really teach you. That's the one thing experience teaches you. You have to earn that. But that said, once you have that news judgment, I'm looking for people that are tech savvy. I'm looking for people that have a comfort level, that can adapt to things. The editors who work for me, I mean, we are equal parts journalists and we are tech troubleshooters and designers. I mean, we do it all. My first job out of college was as a programmer, a developer. JavaScript, HTML, building websites when websites were new. I didn't want to do that the whole time for my career, so I, left that job, joined the Associated Press. I worked in the AP National Bureau in Washington for a number of years. I was a one-man New York City bureau for Cox newspapers. So really, hard news experience, but the technology was always a part of it, and it's kind of what let me do all those things. Because when I was with Cox, I was a one-man bureau, so I was reporting, I was shooting video, I was blogging, I was doing all these things. And now, mobile is very much a part of that. Building apps, guiding the direction of apps. The storytelling is about more than just the story. It's about the presentation of the story, and it's about the mechanisms that deliver the story. That's really important too. And it may feel like that journalists have no say in that, and that's wrong, because journalists are the ones who understand their readers the best and who understand what kind of experience they need to have and how that story can best be told with the technology. So the two pieces really need to go together. I mean, for me, there really is no barrier. I mean, the world I live in is the world where you have equal parts technology, equal parts journalism, and product as well, and it's all rolled into one. And frankly, the people that are going to get hired and the people that are going to be able to get jobs are the people that can live in all those worlds.
Great, that's perfect. Can I ask you one more question? One thing students sometimes feel apprehensive about is knowing how to actually code. Is that vital for a journalist, or is it more vital that they understand what is sort of possible in coding and what's difficult? I mean, to be able to have a conversation.
I don't think journalists have to be coders. I don't think you need to have deep programming knowledge. I think you should have an elementary knowledge of things like HTML at a very basic level, just to get you an idea of what you're looking at. Mm-hmm. And these are understanding things like that is as important as understanding nut graphs and leads and kickers, and understanding the terminology about metadata and tags and SEO. All that stuff is that's an extension of the journalist's vocabulary. We have plenty of our own jargon, and there's just a little bit more that we need to learn. But you don't have to necessarily be an all-out programmer or coder. I teach a class that's brand new on mobile journalism at the City University of New York. I created the curriculum just a little while ago. And my students are building apps. They're building news apps, but they're not coding news apps. They're using freely available tools in order to build these apps. And I emphasize to them, we do not have a room full of developers available to us to work with us. But the idea is understanding the process of building an app and what goes into mobile, and understanding what the user experience, what the reader experience is. That's the key thing. Mm-hmm. And being able to use it. I mean, if there's any advice I could give to up-and-coming journalists, it's that you have to use the technology. I mean, just use it. Just download apps, download websites, get a tablet, get a smartphone, tap on it and tap on it until your fingers bleed, and just use it, because that's really the key thing to understanding it. I mean, use it, and then you can start. It's just like you learn how to write by reading. You know, you read other writers, and then you practice, and then you get good at it, and you understand all the rules, and once you understand all the rules, then you can start breaking them a little bit. And it's the same thing with the technology. The first step is you got to use it a lot.
Great. Thanks so much, David.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
so much.